look at you can look at me actually. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Great, by the way.
Thank you very much. So first of all, congrats on the massive success of the show. And my first question is, what's it like to work with someone with the insane work ethic that Shonda Rhimes undoubtedly has?
Do I hold this? She does have an impressive work ethic, and I do not. So she doesn't work me too hard. Yeah, every now and then I have a moment with her where I look over and I go, "You're younger than I am." It doesn't seem right. She's accomplished, I think, by any metric, much more than I have. It's fantastic. She's pretty present, given how many different shows that she's running and how involved she is in each one. So we always have at least that couple of hours with her when we do an initial table read of the next episode. And then if you need her for any reason during the shooting, she makes herself available to everyone. She's a pretty great boss.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything he said. I think working with her and her work ethic is really a blessing. I think, well, not that I have much to compare it to. I have some things to compare it to, but I already have a sense and feeling that the type of environment that we're in and how we work is really special. It's really real, and it's quite a unique experience. So working with her is a blessing, but sometimes it's challenging. But I think as an actor, you kind of appreciate both of those worlds coming together, where you're being blessed but also challenged, because it's in the challenged. It's when you're being challenged that you're stretched and you grow as a human being and as an artist.
Thank you very much. Would you like to come in for this one, Mr. Morton? We'd love to have you on that. Thank you. So the show features a lot. This is the reason I want you on for this one. But the show features a lot of noble heroes and really just awful villains, like really despicable people. So what's it like leaning into those aspects of your characters?
What was the question exactly?
I'm saying, like, since the show has so many really defined heroes and sort of it's a very sort of not cartoony show, but it's a kind of a larger than life show. What's it like leading into those aspects of your characters?
Well, I guess you're looking at me as the villain
I
here.
guess, yeah.
You know what? I think the great thing about playing a villain is that I love who he is, and that I think he thinks that anything and everything that he does makes, if not his world, the world, a better place, which makes it a very challenging thing to do, and a really interesting thing to do, because the two things that he's most involved in are making sure that his daughter is safe and that the Republic is safe. So he will do those two things, as was once said, by any means necessary.
Well, I don't know. I'm not necessarily a villain, so but I think in leaning in my character, it's just a matter of really finding, and I think really with any character, finding the human trait. I think oftentimes you can kind of get distracted by a stereotype or a generalization of who you may believe an individual is, and I think that's something that every actor wants to steer away from. You want to be as specific as possible, as relatable as possible, as human as possible, and I have a lot of joy in finding that in Marcus. We have a lot of things in common, but also a lot of things that are different, that makes us different.
Yeah, good answer. David Rosen, I would say, though deeply flawed, probably some self-esteem issues, maybe the only attorney general never to have won a case as a lawyer in his career, did, in fairness, extort his way to his current position. Other than that, hasn't killed anyone, and thus, I think, one of the great heroes of our show. By contrast, an angel of a man. So, yeah, I have no problem. Recently, we had a director, I think I was doing a scene with Scott Foley, who plays Jake, and she was saying, well, what do you think of him? I said, well, I think badly of all the other characters. So my take on them is very clear. I think it's just a rogues gallery of villains. David Rosen, nice guy.
So since the show's been going on for 6 seasons now, how has it changed working on it over time, given that our political climate has gotten more intense, I'll say, for political correctness' sake?
Well, I guess the show correspondingly has gotten intense as well. I mean, I think that what you'll see this season is that things will be looked at from several different points of view in terms of what you already know. I don't think we parallel the political climate necessarily. I think what Shonda makes an effort to do is to look at what it means to be American and what those politics are and what what's capable. I mean, what one is capable of doing within those politics. I mean, we're watching it on a very different level in the real world, but I think we're sort of doing that same sort of thing here in Scandal, which is why we're called Scandal.
Amen to that. I think that, you know, given what is going on, like you said, I think they're both equally getting more intense. I think the only difference is one is in the real world and the other is totally fiction. Obviously, what happens in the real world and whatever policies or things that happen, like, that's real. Real people are being affected every single second, every single minute, whereas, you know, Scandal is entertainment. And I think that because it's entertainment, it's easier to kind of lean in and maybe hope for things. And in doing the show, I don't think that, you know, I think the stories that Shonda is telling and what we've done thus far have been constructed purely to tell a story and purely to, I guess, to bring a sense of enlightenment and I would say hope at some point. And so with that, I think that that's really important, especially kind of given what is going on today. And we just try to serve the story, not necessarily a particular agenda.